have Mr. Verma here as well, analyzing the situation, studying the situation as it develops in Bihar. Lots of questions being raised already, Mr. Verma. In terms of if you want to pick the biggest factors this time around, what would it be? Number one, of course, is the fact that this is an election for the first time which is not being fought with the big wigs, leave alone, say, a Nitish Kumar. You have a Tejashwi, you don't have his father Lalu. You have a Chirag Paswan, you don't have his father Ramvilas Paswan.
Thank you, Preeti. Let me first answer 2 points which you've been discussing with Ansari Saab and Ankit. First, I think you shouldn't be surprised about Bihar and UP turnout. As I told you previously, this is a phenomena across North India. To give you numbers, in 2015, the turnout in Bihar was 57%. The turnout in UP was 61%. Similarly, in previous year. So across North India, across Bimaru states, you see the same phenomena, and it's largely because of migration. The net out migration in Bihar is highest in the country. That's point number one. Related to that, a lot of migrants return back, but that's still a smaller portion of total migration. And second, related, a few went back. So what we have been hearing from the ground and reading in the newspapers is that trains from Bihar to Mumbai and Delhi are running at a full capacity. So there are a lot of people returning, not waiting for the election, not waiting for the festival season, which is here. The second point was about the agenda setting. See, agenda setting has been generally like in last 4 or 5 years since rise of BJP and Modi. We have seen in many elections that BJP or the BJP alliance sets the agenda of election. But that is not true for all elections. In places where BJP or its allies have been in power for more than 10 or 15 years, they are generally on the defensive, right? Think of Gujarat 2017. Even in that election, BJP wasn't setting up the agenda. The Congress and the opposition was setting up the agenda. So don't be surprised that in Bihar, Tejaswi is drawing crowds and rallies. This is a very, very normal part of election procedure, election process. If you have a 15 years of government, the leader is going to face anti-incumbency and the opposition has a chance to set the agenda. Agenda setting doesn't mean that you have an edge in election and you will win the election. Agenda setting only means that you have a momentum in this election and you can basically make it a close contest at the least. The third thing which you are sort of like talking about, yes, this is absolutely correct. In some senses, 2020, Bihar is a very, very important election. Of course, all elections are important, but some elections are more important because they set the term of electoral competition going forward. So in Bihar, 2015 was important or 2010 was important, but 1990 elections in Bihar was really, really important because it set a pattern of electoral competition that lasted till this election. In 2020, what you are going to see forward, that the results are likely to shape up a new pattern of competition. As you also pointed out, Dalit leader Ramvilas Paswan is deceased. Lalu Yadav is in jail. This might be last election for Nitish Kumar. You are seeing rise of new leaders like Tejaswi Yadav, Chirag Paswan, or Nityanand Rai from BJP. So this will sort of like bring new leaders into electoral foray of Bihar.
All right.